Welcome everybody to another episode of Fair Faithful Podcast. I'm Brad Perino, joined by me is my co-host Christian Dyer, and we have our guy Deon from Niner Gang Podcast. How we doing, fellas?
What's
I'm
good? What's good? What's going on?
I'm tired.
You look like you beat,
Yeah.
man.
Work kicked my ass, dude. I'm so tired.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah, I feel it, man. Dude, I was out in the rain all day today, just getting
Oh,
shit
dude, we're
done.
supposed to get rain and snow the rest of the week, and I drive a garbage truck, so I'm gonna be out in it.
hmm
I feel it, man. Um, let's go ahead and start it off, man. What are your guys' takeaway from yesterday's game? I know we got a dub, but it was kind of a filthy one. Um, Dion, want to go ahead and start?
I'm gonna do the same thing I just did, man. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna start on the positive note. We'll get to the stuff we got to clean up after. But
Yeah, yeah.
positive note: George Kittle, absolute monster.
Did I
So
call
good
it?
to have him back. You did. So good to have him back. In the receiving game as a viable threat, man, making teams
Hmm.
respect his gangster. Jawan Jennings, though he didn't have the stats, his presence was known and felt, man. The young kid is growing. He's doing some really, really good things. I can appreciate it, and I love it all, man. Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa should be winning Defensive Player of the Year and Comeback Player of the Year. He's not going to get comeback because it's going to Dak. That's all politics. We all know how the
Hmm.
NFL loves the quarterback position. And you know, Ayuk, man, he clutch, bro. Them long ass arms helped paid off. They
Hmm.
paid off, bro, because he stretched them big ass arms out
Dude,
over that pylon and
hey,
saved our asses. So
he should have one nickname. I'm not gonna say it because I don't know how it would go over, but I would. I just wish we could give him one nickname
what
for
is
those
that?
long. And I mean it in the best way possible because he's got them long limbs as the spider monkey.
Yeah, that wouldn't go over well.
That's why. That's why I said I wasn't
Yeah,
sure. And I
that's
mean it in the
not
best way
that will
possible.
go over
And
at
it's
all.
100% because if you freaking actually look at the actual animal, they have
They have really long arms.
they're
It makes
crazy
Yeah.
long arms, crazy long tail, and they freaking use their limbs like
and
it's
they're
freaking awesome.
and they are athletic as shit. Those
Yeah, that's
motherfuckers
why
bounce off.
that's what I mean by that. But
Yeah, I
it
know.
wouldn't
Yeah,
it wouldn't go
we
over well with the rest most people.
we understand, but yeah, the world we live in today, man, they look and be like, oh, that's what we're doing here, and then they
Yeah,
look at
oh,
me and be
100%.
like, they look at me and be like, Dion, you're gonna let no man,
Nope, nope.
I nope, I said it
Nope.
wouldn't go, nope, don't do it.
Nope.
But
Nope.
That's
Nope.
why I said
for
I
me,
wish, and like I want to make it. That's why I said I wish, and I know we couldn't do
yeah,
that, but
we
with those
got them,
long
man.
arms, man, they're awesome.
But we got them. I think they got so many of them for them, man. We got Fly Uke, we got Ayukin, we got all kinds of shit.
Ayuk.
Um,
Ayuk.
so
Ayuk is on fire.
yeah.
It
So
just
for me, that was what I took away, man. The positives just from the game.
Yeah.
Christian, what did you think?
um I mean, I kind of, you know, because like I had originally picked us to get blown out, so I wasn't like freaking out with the, being in overtime or whatever. I expected us to lose, so the fact that we came out and won, I was happy. Um, it's nice to see that at least we have one player that can make teams pay for stacking the box. Because I don't think like that's one thing is like even with Jimmy, it's able to do make them pay a little bit because if you stack the box, Kittle's gonna destroy you for it. Even with Jimmy at quarterback, so I just it's really exciting to think if Kittle could get like a viable quarterback who can like get him the ball and get him the ball like accurately all the time, especially with how the Niners run the ball. Even if Jimmy wasn't the quarterback, if they're truly trying to stop the run, imagine if we have a much better quarterback throwing to Kittle when they're trying to stop the run. Like it's just crazy to think of how like even better he could be at times if we could get him the ball consistently and accurately um, more often. And it's just like he already kills it with Jimmy, but I mean imagine like a good quarterback throwing him the ball when other teams or defenses are trying to stop the run. It just he's phenomenal to watch. And then just more proof that Debo's freaking the MVP. by definition. Like they'll give it to some stupid quarterback for some stupid reason, but I mean, Debo, by the definition of valuable, is the most valuable player.
Yeah.
The Niners offense is completely more dynamic and completely different when he's in there. So um, we need freaking Elijah Mitchell to come back. I can say that
Yeah.
because the
Our
run
run
game
game
ain't getting
wasn't.
it done,
Nope.
and it annoys me because it hurts Debo in the passing game, and I think he's much more useful in the pass game than he is in the run game. But
Yeah, I agree. I agree. All I have to say is, can we get the 2 minute drill Jimmy like for the whole freaking game? Because the past through the end of regulation and overtime, I was like, where the hell has that been all
what did I
game?
say? What did I say on the when we on Saturday or
We did
Sunday
the
morning?
pregame.
Run the freaking no huddle most of the game.
Yeah.
Don't make Jimmy think. Make him just play football.
Hmm.
Other than the one bad throw he had right, on the final drive in the fourth quarter, it was pretty good.
Yeah, when you say that, the funny thing, that's what he did when he first came in.
Mm-hmm.
When those last 5 games of 2017,
Oh
he was
yeah,
He was
just
I
just
remember
playing
that.
football.
playing
Yeah.
football, man. Because I can tell you right now, I guarantee you maybe 30 to 40% of that was the actual playbook,
Hmm.
and the rest of it was just, hey, these are the guys you got, make some damn plays. But yeah, man, I feel like I know we kind of harp on Jimmy, at times, and it's hard not to when you look at things from the perspective of you know everything outside of him just winning, because that's what a lot of people like to do.
Hmm.
I was in a space earlier today on Twitter, and one of these dudes, man, as soon as I said what I said about Jimmy, because whenever I talk about him, I preface my comments by stating this is just my opinion. It's just me. I'm not telling everybody this is how you have to feel, any of that, because people get upset, man. So I told him, I said, look, man, for me, we should have never been in that position. First thing he does is he jumps in and cuts me off. Well, Tom Brady did this and he had a bad. Look, okay.
Tom Brady's 43 years
Do
old.
not let me
I
let me
know.
tell you this, bro. People out there, if you're watching, don't ever bring Tom Brady and Jimmy Garoppolo in the same sentence. You know why? Tom Brady got 7 fucking rings. So if he fucks up or screws up, no one's going to tell him anything, and no one's really going to care. And
Nope.
at the same time, you have to remember Brady's playing on a team that's more consistent. And if I'm looking at some situations and I have to be clutch,
Hmm.
and you're telling me to pick between Jimmy Garoppolo and Tom Brady, I'm going with Tom Brady 100% of the time.
Let's put it this way though. How is it that in 2019 we had a top 5 defense and Jimmy was good? Well, this whole season the defense has been good for 3.5 quarters and held teams to you know
Whatever we can.
low scoring totals for 3.5 quarters, and then towards the fourth quarter when they're burnt out and tired they
Hmm.
start to give up some points, where so Jimmy has that whole time to be putting up points and he ain't putting up shit. That's why we almost lost to the Bengals, because we scored 3 points in the second half.
Can we
That's Jimmy's fault.
this is the
That's
second.
Jimmy's fault. And like,
This
how many
is
games this year have we lost because
yeah.
Jimmy has completely let his defense out to dry, or they've held teams under 20 points and he can't do anything.
Yeah. This is the second week in a row that this has happened where they don't score shit in the second half.
Yeah. And we've only scored 3 points over the past 2 weeks in the second half. And that's not going to
Yeah.
work, because what people are looking at in a broader spectrum is, oh, well, we can make the playoffs. Let me tell you something. And I used them as an example because it happened. Look at the Giants when they got in both of their Super Bowls. I believe they were 9-7
Hmm.
each year. When you go into the playoffs, teams become whole different people. Whole different people.
Yeah.
Like they turn on a different switch. These dudes are playing harder. they're playing faster, and they're playing through any and every kind of pain you can think of. So they're going, if I'm going to go out here and sacrifice my body, goddammit, I'm going out and giving it my all.
Well, Eli Manning's the two-sided mirror to Peyton.
Hey, look, man, I
Think
don't
about
care what
it.
nobody say, bro.
Peyton's the regular season guy, and his brother and
His
Eli
brother's
is
the
that
playoff
playoff.
guy.
He's playoff Eli.
And let me tell you something. You know what matters more? Eli. Because don't nobody care what you did in the regular season. All they care about is what you did in the playoffs.
And he had I would say the greatest Super Bowl of all time is that 07 Super Bowl.
He had, I wouldn't say that was the greatest, not at least not for me, but
I mean,
it was a great Super Bowl. It definitely was.
18-0 Patriots against the 9-7 Giants, and it's a freaking war to the final 2 drives of the game, and Eli makes the most unbelievable play in the history of the Super Bowl. It's hard to say that wasn't the best.
And the craziest thing about Eli is the pass to Mario Manningham with the toe drag swag.
That was 2011.
That one he threw and he knew where he was going. But the one to David Tyree, he didn't know where he was going. If everybody watched that replay, that man threw it up and prayed to sweet baby Jesus when he got yanked that ball came down in the hands of a giant, and his prayers were answered just like the heavens opened up.
One of the greatest catches I think I've ever seen in my life, too. Oh my God!
Man, and
was that a game?
It's for me, it's just like when you look at the game. So let's tap into it real quick. Jimmy was 27 of 41, 296 yards and 2 TDs. He also took 5 sacks. He also threw at least about almost 3 picks, but they were just dropped. He almost threw a game-sealing pick 6 for the Bengals. Had that safety not dropped that, because if he picks that, he's in full stride. That safety is gone. You're not catching him. He's going down the field. Lyman ain't catching him. Jimmy damn sure ain't catching him. He ain't even gonna run because he know he ain't gonna catch him for no reason. But it's you see these things and you say to yourself, okay, I like him. I get it. And then what everybody does is we go into OT. We hold them to a field goal. So we look at the defense and go, all right, cool. Y'all did your job. They didn't score. We didn't lose. So you look at Jimmy and he's going down the field. Drive after, keep going.
Some decent passes too.
He was just playing backyard football. That's what he was doing.
Backyard football. He's moving. And what happens? He throws Ayuk a little 2 or 3 yard pass. At best, that ball didn't travel that far.
That was such a well written up play by Kyle. Oh my God.
And what happened? Ayuk said, I'm not giving up on this damn play. We got to get the hell out of here with this W.
He was tiptoeing in there.
He jumped because Kyle said after the game had it not worked out and he wound up going to 4th down, he was just going to go for the tie. And I'm thinking to myself, Kyle, this is why I can't compare you to Belichick. This is why when people try to put Belichick and Kyle in the same sentence, I tell them all the time, you can't do that. Because Belichick ain't going for no damn tie. Belichick wants a damn win. I don't want a tie for what? That's not helping me.
Nope.
Especially when we in a playoff race and we can flip-flop positions in seconds. I don't have time for ties. I need you to go out there and try to go get these damn W's, man.
Which is weird because he said he was gonna go for 2 against Seattle. So why would you go for a tie in one game and then go for 2 against Seattle the game before? I don't understand.
That right there tells me that we get some confusion here. So go, but I'm gonna pull up the second half because I want to take a look and see what happened. But go ahead.
It's weird with Jimmy. It's like Kyle's. You got to think because Kyle's, his game plan and his playbook is so intricate and so much thought goes into it that when Jimmy has to execute Kyle's, really thought out plays, his mind can't process the overthinking, and he overthinks everything he does in that offense. It's like if he was just running a more simple backyard football offense, he'd be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I honestly think that's a possibility that he could be, because it's weird because Because like he's not when he's not thinking and he's running the 2 minutes offense, all of a sudden he's making these throws he can't make the whole game or all season and accurately. So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it other than the fact that he is such a head case. He overthinks everything, and that's why his balls sail because he's overthinking everything and he can't, just throw the ball accurately. It's insane.
Yeah. I just think Jimmy, if Jimmy could play the way he plays in 2 minute drills, he could be a really good quarterback. Honestly.
He's not a good fit for Kyle because there's too much thinking and too much processing involved in Kyle's offense that's not good for Jimmy. Jimmy needs like a simplified West Coast offense, like a simplified, like original West Coast offense, like what the Niners ran in the '80s. Jimmy could do
That's
that.
probably it's probably best, and that's probably one of the best analogies I've heard on where he would flourish would be that type of offense. And
that's why Joe Montana likes him. If you think about it.
Yeah, you got to think about it. Like, and that was the thing. Joe likes, and then at the same time, Joe likes him because they're similar. It's just like I said before. He's a pocket quarterback. Joe doesn't like some people are sticklers for guys staying in the pocket, throwing the ball from the pocket and doing you don't like a guy running around trying to make plays. So he probably is turned off by the Kyler Murrays, the Russell Wilsons, the Lamar Jacksons, the Trey Lances, the Colin Kaepernicks of the world. It's probably like, it's nice, but that's not going to last. So you got to learn eventually some way, somehow to go into the pocket and do certain things. But I'm looking at this in the second. So I'm going to the second half.
Yep.
When I'm looking at it, the first drive for the Bengals is a punt. So we come up with a field goal. The next drive for the Bengals is a missed field goal. We come up with a punt. The Bengals score. We punt again. The Bengals punt. We punt again. And the issue that I'm seeing here is the time of possession is very small. So when you look at it, the Bengals' first drive in the third quarter was only 2 minutes. It was quick. Yeah. And that was basically what it was. Oh, sorry, I got this little thing back here. Let me shut it up. There we go. And when you look at it, we come in, we have a drive that's 5 minutes and 17 seconds. So you're like, okay, cool. Let's take some time off the clock. But then all we get out of that is a field goal. The Bengals miss a field goal. We can't turn that into points. The Bengals score a touchdown. Then we punt. We make them punt. Then we punt again. They score another touchdown. And then Robbie Gould misses a field goal. So that's what I'm saying. In the second half alone, all we had was 3 points, and we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possessions, and all we gave them was 3 points. So you got to think about that, and sorry, that's ESPN.com letting me know all the replays, but that's 5 possessions, 3 points. That means, and those touchdowns, man, like they hurt. They hurt bad because you saw Hufanga get held up, and you're like, damn, I didn't want that to happen to the young kid, But Ambry Thomas got baked.
He got
all game.
It's what I would expect from a rookie starting his first game.
Yeah, especially against
my thing is, why would you start? First of all, why would you start Ambry Thomas against Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd? Why would you do that?
Well, because you didn't have a choice. He didn't have a choice.
No,
they didn't plan on it.
He had a choice. There's another young kid that played some games this year. His name is Diamador Lenore.
That's fair.
You could have put him in. Don't do that. Yeah. That's one thing that I'll say. That's where I give Ambry a pass. Look, man, you can't. I give him a pass on the fact that you can't put him out. When you start a rookie who's never started a game, who's just playing special teams. So on special teams, literally all you're supposed to do, your only job is to tackle the person to catch the ball. That is literally it. Tackle the person to catch the ball or make a play if you can. That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
Punt, kick, return. But when you ask somebody to actually come in and play and you switch their technique, to something they're not good at, what do you expect him to do? Ambry Thomas is a press man corner. Though he may not have been great at it, that is what he knows. And you ask him to come in and play zone. So he playing off these receivers. They out there, Jamar Chase, it don't matter who was lined up, they was going to eat on him and eat him alive.
And
And
the penalties.
you can't really expect much from him. But Diamondor Lenore seemed to look all right when he was playing zone a little earlier in the year.
Yeah.
So it would make sense as a coach. I don't want to put this young kid in a bad situation, So what I'm going to do is I may mix him in here and there just to get him some reps, but I'm not going to put him in on zone. It's not what he does, and he hasn't shown me something to make me feel good. It took you it took you 13 games to realize that Ambry Thomas can play.
Right.
That tells me that all them 13 games was development. And as you can see, until you get the reps, you don't know what you're doing. And obviously, them reps he had in practice didn't translate on the field because he got cooked. And I can't say nothing negative about him. Like I said, it's just a situation where
It's his first game.
This organization doesn't know shit about freaking getting our rookies ready or shit about who to put out there. They're just fucking it's just a freaking shit show. And Kyle's terrible with it and has no sense of freaking control about any of it. And John Lynch don't know what the hell he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And Kyle can scheme up some freaking plays and call some damn good plays, but the rest of the freaking head coaching stuff, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And this is a perfect example. He's not a head coach. He's not. He's one of the best play callers, if not the best play caller in the NFL, but an actual head coach, no. He's not.
Yeah.
Because this is a fucking shit show. And if he was a head coach, none of this shit would happen with his dad. None of this shit would happen with his dad. All this fucking, what if, and this and that, and what the fuck's going on all the time.
That's the difference between his dad and him is his dad had a drive and a will to win that Kyle lacks. And it's more so the killer instinct, and I always use this analogy. It's the LeBron and Jordan comparison. You can't compare LeBron to MJ because MJ wanted to rip your throat out and watch you die lifeless in front of him, where LeBron is kind of like, oh, man, I'll chop you in the throat and make you cough a little bit. Like, it's a difference. You have to have that. So that's part of the thing that, is going on. And when you look at that, 5 possessions and all you get is 3 points, like, that's not good enough. And then some of those possessions are really short-lived, and the time frames are small. Like, our possessions, literally from a time frame standpoint, the longest one we had was the first one. It was 5 minutes and 17 seconds. The second one was 4 minutes and 21 seconds. The next one, 2:40. The next one, 1 minute, 57 seconds. And then the missed field goal was only 1 minute and 19 seconds. But that was because we were trying to run the clock out. So they didn't have an opportunity to come back because we thought Robbie Gould, with his worthless ass, was going to be able to hit a damn chip shot field goal, and he hooked the shit out of it, which didn't make no goddamn sense, especially with him being a veteran.
It's just, I think the funniest thing I saw on Twitter yesterday and today was just like, don't freaking talk shit on Jimmy, and where's all the Jimmy haters? It's like, dude, I don't understand how he can suck most of the game and have 1 or 2 good drives, and all of a sudden, Jimmy's so great. I'm like, dude, he's the reason we were in that position to begin with. That's like going to the casino and losing all your money and then thinking that you did so great because you hit a jackpot at the end of your last freaking dollar, and
all you did was make up the money that you got,
break even,
and maybe
break even.
You broke even. Yeah, you broke even, or you got like an extra $20 or something. And you're like, yeah, man, I won. Not really, because you didn't really do.
No. I just don't understand how, like, I don't know if they're just like trying to like rationalize it in their head, or they just really suck at understanding the game of football.
You got to think about it like this. When people support Jimmy Garoppolo, main arguments are always, it happens. Here's the issue with it happens. You can't have, that's not supposed to be okay. I tell people all the time, I remember getting into it with a dude on Twitter, and I said, so you're telling me you're comfortable with mediocrity. And he
Yeah.
was like, "What? We're not mediocre when Jimmy plays. There's plenty of games that we've lost where he's looked pretty boring and pretty normal." And I mean, when you look at
Mhm.
him, and that's the thing I keep telling people, these stats don't wow you. There's nothing about what Jimmy's doing that's making you think he's an upper echelon quarterback. The man had 296 yards and 2 TDs. Do you understand that most of Jimmy's throws are short? People, they're short.
Yeah, that's true.
Most of his passing yards come on yak. If the league wanted to be really nitpicky, what's up, Hung Fat? If
Hey,
the
what's up,
league
Hunk Fat?
wanted to be really nitpicky, you know what they could do? They would say, you know what? When the receiver catches the ball, wherever it's completed at, those yards are what you get counted
It's
as your actual yards.
it's
The yak is going straight to the receiver stats.
it, with
You
the
could
way
do that, and you would have. You know how many people? I guarantee there'd be so many people that wouldn't be barely over 2 to 3 thousand yards every year if the league did that and was very nitpicky in that way.
yeah, and honestly, with the way that people, oh well, Jimmy was so good because he had the final 2 good drives or whatever. It's like there's at least 2 games that we could have won if he didn't suck in the second half, even though he had a good final drive. And Green Bay's the first one.
Hmm.
Should have won that game.
Yep.
Outright, we should have won that game.
Should have won the
If he
Seattle
doesn't
game.
suck, in the second half, and the Seattle game, then we ended up, he ends up almost finishing off the drive. If he doesn't suck the whole fucking second half, we win both those games, and then we're what? What are we freaking 7-6 right now? We'd be 9-4,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which would put us as the 5th seed right now.
Mm-hmm.
And with a possible chance for Arizona to maybe lose a couple, and maybe we fight for the division. If Jimmy plays 2 good,
That's true.
just plays a second half good 2 times, we win both those games, and this whole season's completely different.
Yeah.
I feel like too.
It is.
Especially that Colts game as well. I feel like we could have won that game as well.
The Colts game too, but it's there. It's like there's at least 3, probably even 4 games when you really look at it that we've lost that we could have won if Jimmy played a decent game.
Hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
it's just it doesn't make any sense that people are like, oh, he's so good. I'm like, dude, he puts us in this position, and the reason we're 7-6 right now is because he can't play a whole game. Oh, whoop-de-doo. It's like, oh man, we got 17 points in the first
Till it
half.
counts.
And that's the thing. Jimmy will play a decent first half sometimes, and then
Mhm.
you're like, okay, good. Let's just freaking put it on him in the second half, and then nothing. And then, or you have the ones, the first Seattle game where you have a shitty first half, and you're just like, well, we expect to have a shitty second half. If you
Yeah.
have a
So
shitty first half, you're like, well, we know we're getting the second half. But then he gets your hopes up with the good first half, and then the second half is just fucking just sitting there
dang
like
ESPN don't
scratching
want to
his
stop.
nuts. It's insane.
Sorry, guys.
Uh,
ESPN does not like to stop. They want to show you
they
highlights
want,
from
yeah,
everything.
they just want to keep going.
Yeah.
I was gonna say is I was on my way home from LA yesterday, and I was listening to the game on XM radio,
Mhm.
and I'm listening to, and of course they have the Bengals broadcast team on there, right? So I'm
Oh my
like,
God, Adam Archuleta is hot garbage.
oh my God, dude, they were so horrible. I
No,
couldn't
bro,
stand it.
they were bad.
Bro,
Like,
Brandon, you
but
missed.
I'm gonna tell you right now. You know who's dope?
Who?
Addings.
Yeah.
You know why? There's a whole bunch of football knowledge running around in there.
Oh,
They
Hmm.
are
love
literally.
it. Love it.
I tell you this. Even and I'll give credit to a guy that I rip to shreds on a regular basis. Tony Romo. He is
He's a
smart
bomb.
as hell.
Oh, he's so good.
God, he's good.
He's a good commentator for sure.
But the thing is, Yeah, but you get people in there. Adam Archuleta, he sounded like a Bengals fan, and I
Yeah,
don't know why. I don't
dude.
even think he played for the Bengals.
But
I know
Oh
Archuleta
man.
played. I knew, and the thing with Archuleta was Archuleta, if I'm not mistaken, he was a hitter. He was
Mhm.
he hit pretty hard when he played, but he didn't last too long. Yeah, they right.
but
That's the
I
truth. That's the
I just
truth.
want to say
They were like, "Oh, the Niners know how to play football." I was like, "What are you
if
guys
you
sleeping under
if
a rock, bro? You idiot!"
if you didn't watch the regular broadcast though, Brandon, you missed the freaking best part of the whole game.
What was it?
Fucking Debo Sample, dude. I was dying. I was like, when he called him Debo
Bro,
Sample, I was laughing so
Debo
hard.
Sample,
Are you serious?
they screwed up several
Great
names.
Kittle,
Oh my God, this
They
is why
screwed up
I don't like
several names.
CBS, man.
dude. I was absolutely dying when I heard freaking Debo Sample though. I literally just kept laughing the whole
I'm,
game.
I'm over there looking at it. I'm like, y'all don't get a sheet that tells you the players' numbers and their names at a
I
bare
know,
minimum? Like,
No,
come
dude,
on,
bro.
people, do your job.
Jonathan Vilma was backstage doing the Bruce Almighty typing up the wrong names.
Probably so. Probably
Dude,
so, bro.
hey,
Like,
so when I listened to the Bengals radio broadcast, dude, every time the Bengals like made a good play, they literally got so excited. It was like crazy. Like they literally acted like a Bengals fan. Honestly.
oh yeah,
I'm
no,
like,
they did. And it's weird with commentators. You see that. You'll
yeah.
see that they'll
some
show
con-
their
some
fanhood.
commentators are allowed to do that. Like,
But I feel like I mean, yeah, it's Greg Papa and Tim Ryan, but I feel like they get excited, but they don't get excited how the Bengals commentators did
it,
yesterday.
but it
No, yeah,
depends.
they did get
You know what I
really
mean?
It
excited.
depends on
You're
if they're
Yeah.
right.
allowed to though, because some commentators are allowed to, depending on what they're doing and which team and whatnot. Because like the voice of the Utes for Utah Utes, I mean, he like calls a game and he's been doing it for like the past 20 plus years. And when the Utes are doing good and you're listening to the broadcast, he gets hella excited.
Mhm.
Like you can hear the joy in his voice when the Utes do something
You know who I'd love to call our games? Rodney Harrison.
good.
He keeps it so fucking real. I will never, ever in my life. There are moments in time in history when you've seen shit happen on national television that will blow your mind. Just like when
He
Kanye
just
West, George Bush hates black people. Mike Myers was like, and they cut the song. he just Kanye said that shit. I was like, damn, caught him off guard. Rodney Harrison on CBS with Tony Dungy and the rest of the crew stood there and said into the camera, Tom, pull your skirt down. Everybody on the panel was like, oh God. I mean, like everybody telepathically was going, you know, he live, right? We
what
we're not filming this. We can't edit that.
Yeah,
It was said, it's
it's
done.
live.
And he was like, because Rodney Harrison, well, he said himself, he said, man, I had a separate bank account for penalties. Literally, I knew I was going to get fined for some of the stuff I was doing, so I just put the money aside. Even my wife, he said my wife knew. My wife knew I had a separate bank account for penalties. There's nothing I had to hide. I was like, man. So,
hey, what we need for just all football games, we just need a freaking John Madden AI. So it can call all the games as they see it, but in John Madden's voice, and describe everything in
yeah,
John
you'd
Madden's
hear him.
voice, dude.
That's
I
hilarious.
Honestly,
still miss the Super Bowls called by John Madden. I mean, I wish I had really enjoyed it as a kid when we actually had it. I wish I would have enjoyed it more because of how much I miss it now.
He's hilarious. He was
Oh, he was the
it was
best.
great. It was great, but he was hilarious as well.
Oh, he was
you
awesome.
know what would be awesome? This would be hilarious as hell if we had Chris Berman doing commentating. Every time they make a move, he'd be like,
Well, that's because
oh, he always makes this noise.
isn't he like a Bay Area guy? Like he's
I'm not
probably an
sure. I
Irish
don't know.
man,
I don't know
right?
much about Berman like that.
I'm pretty sure he's a
You know, what
he's a
I used to
Giants
like
fan.
what I used to like was NFL Network. Like
Mhm.
when they had, you know, the crew there, when they had Deon and they had Michael Irvin and everybody.
Oh, dude, when Rich Eisen did it,
Rich Eisen.
best ever. When I was in high
When they
school,
were
dude.
I loved when they were hosting that because it was great. I love 21st and Prime That was dope. That was always great.
Yeah, I
He would
remember
give
that.
people a call. He'd say, "You do my dance, I give you a call." I love when when the defensive lineman was scoring, they'd be like, "Big man with football," like stuff like that. That keeps you entertained and keeps you locked in. Those types of things have just unfortunately like disappeared. And I like the you got moss sections and stuff like
You
I,
got
that. But
mossed.
dude,
toe drag swag when they Burleson, stuff like that from GMFB. But yeah, man. And hey, shout out to Nate Burleson, man. He out there getting money, man. He getting stupid money.
Hell yeah,
CBS
dude. Is he
signed
working
him
at
and
I
put him
CBS
on
now?
TV.
I want to
Yeah,
say
I think he on CBS doing
I,
like Good Morning America or something like that.
every
He's
day after
doing.
school I watch
He's
NFL
doing.
Total Access in high school with
Yeah,
Rich Eisen.
Rich
It was
Eisen.
that good,
Yeah.
and then it went to
Pretty
shit
awesome.
after
Yeah, I
Rich
remember when they
left.
first started up NFL Network, and Eisen was the guy calling it.
Oh, dude, it was. I watched it all the time, dude. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's take a look here at the receiving because the rushing we totaled 100 yards with everybody. It was between Jeff Wilson Jr. and Debo Samuel. Debo had the one touchdown rushing, and Jeff Wilson had 13 carries for 56 yards. So both of them averaged 4.6 yards a carry. So it wasn't bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
Yeah.
If you're averaging 4 yards a carry, that's definitely not a
Well,
negative
here's
outlook.
my
You're
thing.
running better between the tackles though, which was weird.
Here's
Yeah.
somebody pointed this out. I forgot who it was, but they were saying like they were surprised that Hasty wasn't getting in there as much, but they were using him more in the passing game.
Yeah, he was in
Because
there on third
he's
down,
a more viable pass threat. He's
dude.
he's better at
Yeah.
pass than
Did
he
you?
is at run. And they knew with Jeff Wilson Jr. they could use him as a banger because Jeff
Hmm.
Wilson Jr. hits.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
probably why.
did you see that one formation where they had like Hasty out wide and Debo at halfback, and then he like motioned out, and we had um, nobody in the backfield. But at one point, it was out wide was Hasty. He wasn't even playing the slot. He was out wide, and then Debo came and motioned into the slot.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. It was crazy, but I mean, so the run game we still got 100 yards in the tud as a total, but when we look at the receiving, this is where you start to see the craziness happen. And this is where I always talk about how somebody winds up with a security blanket. Now Debo didn't get many targets. He had one target. He caught that target. It was for 22 yards. But the main man that was targeted was George Kittle.
Hmm.
13 catches on 15 targets for 151 yards and one TD. Brandon Ayuk, 6 catches for 62 yards on 11 targets and one TD. Jawan Jennings, 3 catches, 46 yards on 5 targets and, no touchdown. But Jawan Jennings had the longest catch of the game, which was
Can we talk
25
about that
yards.
catch? Can we talk about that catch? That
That
was a phenomenal catch, man.
that
Hey,
was beautiful.
I
Because
freaking
what
Yeah.
did
love
he
that guy.
do? I'm telling you, people, listen when I'm telling you. Jawan Jennings is what they wanted Jalen Hurd to be.
Hmm.
But ask Brandon. The beginning when we first started our podcast, in the beginning of the year, when I was talking about Jennings and high on him from the get go.
Yeah.
Like I was like, dude, he's gonna be when we finally figure out how to get the receiver 3 the ball in the first place, because look how long it took Jimmy to find any of our receivers. He was gonna be a dog, and he has been.
He
Yeah.
He's
Somebody
dude. Those
else.
strong hands that he has, dude. I mean, he's got like those
Yeah.
Anquan Bolden hands. I'm telling you.
And somebody was saying too. I've watched so many freaking Niner post game shows in the past 2 days. It's ridiculous. I can't keep up.
Yeah,
Like they
man. It's
said.
so, bro. Hey, let's touch on that for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Do you understand, bro? We have so many goddamn content creators.
Dude, I heard you on freaking nitty gritty earlier.
Bro, we have I'm telling you, and you know the craziest shit? So on Nitty Gritty, you have Peachy, you got Fair, you got Mose, you got Breezy, right?
Hmm.
Mose has his own channel.
Does he really?
Yes. So
Oh,
Mose has his own channel. Peachy and Breezy do their thing, and they
yep.
bring Fair's there, like sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not, but he's still a part of the crew. The
Hmm.
craziest shit is you got Nitty Gritty. You got you guys here at the Forever Faithful. You got me at Niner Gang Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You have nothing behind it, nothing but Niners. You have Rodbo Sports. You have the Hive. We have the Red and Gold Standard. We have the Forever Faithful Pod. Like, and then we got Mariah. Shout out to Mariah. Mariah Faithful Lee's podcast. Like, you people out there, you should never hurt for 49er content. Mm-mm. We have probably the best fans in the league, and we create content as much as we possibly can. I have never seen it to a point where there are that many damn creators for one franchise. I've literally looked up other people to try to get them to come on and do crossover shows, and you'll find like one dude for like one team. Like, I found an Eagles fan, and I was looking, I'm like, okay, he's already at like 1K on his YouTube. Cool, let's see what he does. He's like, bro, this is the first time I'm even showing my face. I only just do commentary. I was like, what? It's straight wild, man.
I think it's funny that you said we have the best fans, because I mean, we might do, but we have the most toxic fan base too. That's why.
So funny. Yeah. Well, I mean,
dude, 49ers Twitter.
With the 49ers Twitter be off the chain, because you have people that are on different sides, and you got people that think one way, and you got people that love Jimmy, you got people that hate Jimmy, you got people that are just optimistic. They're like, hey man, hopefully we win the game.
When you think of Niners Twitter, just think of the anchor man when all the freaking anchors come in the fight, dude. That's Niners Twitter every time, dude.
Yeah. Seriously,
bro, I love Anchorman. That is one of the greatest movies. I like Will Ferrell. He's hilarious.
I freaking love that movie, dude.
But
kill the guy.
Hung Fat, he asked me, how many games will the Niners win? Hung Fat, I can tell you right now, I honestly don't know. And the reason I say this is because it's just a toss-up, man. The Titans have been getting their ass handed to them for the last couple of weeks. And they turned it around and they beat the hell out of the damn Jaguars. It is the Jags, so you can't really say that they did much. But it's the Jags, and they still won the game. The Jags, they've got, 2 wins on the year? So they beat some damn body.
And there's some drama over there, too.
Their running back, he's coming back before we play them, too. Wow.
Derrick Henry?
Derrick Henry's going to play.
They're missing him a lot.
He's going to be there when we play him. He said he's going to be ready for the playoffs, and even
I don't know. No, please look.
Right, dude, seriously.
Everybody, look, Brandon, Christian, your name is Christian. Are you a religious man? We gonna all bow our heads and pray to the football guys. Football guys.
Please don't let the best player in the league come back.
Hold on. We're gonna have to pull a Talladega Nights. Sweet little baby Jesus.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Please don't let that be.
Please don't let Derrick Henry come back out. I don't need him posterizing Josh Norman again. Jesus, we praying. We cannot do it. No, we can't.
Hey, Josh Norman just came back from the Shadow Realm. He ain't trying to go back.
Yeah, he does not want to revisit. I'm telling you, Shao Kahn gonna snatch his soul. But I mean, like, when you look at the game coming up against Atlanta, the number one Achilles heel is Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan knows what Kyle likes to do and what he doesn't like to do. He's inside his head because he already says, okay, hey, look, man, I know what he likes to call in certain situations. So you have to think about it from that perspective. They played us hard last time, and instead of Jimmy Ward, if he would have went up top rather than going low, then Julio Jones doesn't get to stretch out and just lay over. I mean, he's tall enough. He just stretches out and lays over, but there's no Julio Jones. So now we got to deal with the guys that they currently got. I think it's still Calvin Ridley, and I believe you have
Ricky.
And the rookies.
I thought Ridley took that leave of absence.
Oh yeah, he did. They don't have Ridley anymore.
They got Kyle Pitts, who's a dog.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah, they got Kyle Pitts, and I think he's leading their team in receiving, if I'm not mistaken.
He was advertised for sure.
Yeah, so the next few games, literally, the way we end our season is Atlanta. So we're at home versus Atlanta. We go to Tennessee. We come back home to play the Texans, and then we head over to SoFi to play the Rams. So the cool thing is the last 2 games of the season are easy as far as in terms of travel, because you ain't doing nothing but going. I believe me, I took the flight from Arizona to LA. It only takes 45 minutes. By the time you sit your ass in the seat, you're getting right the fuck back up and get off the plane. It really is not that damn far.
Yeah.
Okay, and even if you want to be petty and lazy and you want to drive, shit, it'll take you 5-6 hours at a max, depending on how fast you drive. You get there at 4 or 5 if you put the pedal to the metal. There's certain spots, but it's hard to determine only because of how we've been playing these
Mhm.
last two games. The inconsistency in the second half is scary, man. You know
Yes,
what I
it is.
mean? And when you look at it from that standpoint, I think the Falcons just beat the Panthers, if I'm not mistaken. I
Cam
believe
Newton
they
got
did.
benched.
Cam Newton got benched, and it's definitely, I love Cam.
He just
Uh,
regressed, man. He doesn't have it
he's an
anymore.
icon, but he's just not the same dude, and he's
Not.
showing such. So they basically the Falcons did this. They beat the Jaguars 21-14. They lose to the Bucks 30-17. They beat the Panthers 29-21. So the last two games that they won have been by 7 and 8 points. So it's really hard on what it is. If we make the playoffs,
Dallas.
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's the
Dallas,
only
really?
people. I'm gonna tell
Yeah,
you,
dude.
no. You know what? I take that back. I don't want Dallas.
I
You
want
know what?
Packers. I want the freaking
Get out
Packers.
of my
I
head.
want to. I
We
want to
haven't lost.
destroy that
I don't think.
motherfucker,
I don't
man.
think we've lost to Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs, have we?
Let me tell you
No.
this. Every time I see the Packers in the playoffs, all I do is do nothing but smile because we ran their ass into the ground in 2019 and we ran their ass to death when we had Colin Kaepernick. I remember his Colin because Colin got big long strides when he run. He galloped down the field like a fucking horse.
Mhm.
And that motherfucker took off, and I swear to God, they looked like I
That was
guarantee you, in their head, I'm not catching him. Fuck it,
Nobody was catching him when in the
I'm
open
gonna
field.
I'm gonna act like I'm gonna catch him, but
He might be the only one that could prime
He
cap
took off.
probably give Lamar Jackson's run for its money.
No, I'll tell you this: Colin's good, but Lamar is faster than him.
You think so?
And the reason that I state that is because when you look at the way that people run, it's some people are build-up runners where they don't have a quick start, but as they get by about, I want to say 20 to 30 yards, they're at full speed.
Hence the horse reference for Kaepernick.
There you go.
Mhm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Lamar is a rabbit. He gone automatic.
He gone. Yeah, that's
He
true.
takes off.
He gone.
Tyreek Hill, same thing. Take off. Raheem Mostert, same thing. Take off. Boom, I'm gone. Like the minute my foot gets planted, you better get a hand on me because if you don't, I'm out of here. You're not going to catch me. I'll see you at the end zone. And, Raheem, he'll be diving on the surfboard doing his thing. But the way people run will tell you how they move and where their speed lies. Because when you watch track and field in the Olympics now with the way that things are, because it's so exactly. There you go, in fact, quickness versus speed. The track and field, what they'll do is they'll give you a graph, and it will go from like green to red or something, like green to orange to red. Red is top speed, and you'll see where people are at their top speed. Some people get there quicker, some people don't. But I would love the Packers. I really would because we could. You got to think about it like this: say Elijah Mitchell's healthy. Say he just for some ungodly reason decides to let Trey Sermon get out of the doghouse, and we could put Sermon in there.
Mhm.
Can you imagine we just running the rock down your throat and then throw Trey Sermon in there and put him in there as a banger?
Pound it with Sermon and then get Elijah on the outside
and get busy with you give that mix up because you look at Elijah going, if he gets behind us, he gone. But you look at Trey Sermon and go, I need that. Look, I need these gritty yards, these hard yards. I'm gonna put him in the middle. Sermon go in there and get it.
You got to tell Jimmy just go out there and find the open guy. Like Kyle has to dumb it down.
You know the simplest thing for Jimmy. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Go play football.
Just run a bunch of bootlegs. He does way better. He's more accurate downfield on the bootlegs.
Yeah, and he's not panicky because he got sacked 5 times, and I don't care what anybody says. All 5 of those sacks were hit on him. He held the ball too long and got.
He did. There were lots of times.
Every single time, dude. He'd be at the back, and it's not like the pocket would collapse. Here's the pocket. Jimmy's behind the pocket. The pocket's like a big ball of freaking crazy, and Jimmy's behind the pocket, and then he gets hit by the ball of pocket.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, here's Jimmy here, here's the pocket, and all of a sudden Jimmy's standing behind it, and all of a sudden gets him. All 5 of the sacks, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least he got through the ball and got tackled on a few of them. But he's like in the back while all the linemen are freaking like balled up like this, and then he all of a sudden he gets swarmed by it.
And the one thing that I can say is people out there respect the Bengals front four. They're not playing. They're not playing, and they're not chumps. They're good. Their linebacker core was hurting because they were missing a lot of people. But to tell you, that front four is not a joke. Yeah, he'll be back for the playoffs. Yeah,
High ankle sprain. He
has
a low ankle sprain. So
he got a low ankle sprain. He'll be good.
Yeah.
Like
those heal fast.
Those heal pretty fast. And if they just allow him to take his time, he could go ahead and get himself, and he'll be all right. I think the other side of the ball.
You know what sucks? You know who honestly would scare the shit out of the Packers in the playoffs, and probably we'd win just from running, like with Kaepernick. If Lance played against the Packers in the playoffs when they were expecting Jimmy, Lance would go off for like 150 yards rushing and 2 passing touchdowns.
Hold that. Let's talk about the defense and hold that because we have to touch it. I'm glad you said that. Let's talk about the defense, man. So you flip to the other side of the ball, and I'm sorry, people. I know I'm being a homer when I say this, but Nick Bosa is just it's not fair. It's not fair when quarterbacks have to face the young man. You know why? Because you can double and triple team. He still finds a way to get to the damn quarterback. It's just not fair. And they asked him about the guy he was playing against, and he said, "You know how calm he is when he talks. Yeah, I just bull rushed him, made sure I played his outside hand.
It's just so like
it's just that's what I did." And
you know why I guarantee the reason he goes up there like that, because if he goes up there heated, he's gonna say something about the refs he doesn't want to.
No,
he made a good point too.
Because Joey is a little more energetic when he goes up there, and then Joey lets it rip with the ref. So Nick goes up there like, I'm just gonna go there.
No,
and
Joey,
fuck this, because otherwise I'm gonna get in trouble.
His sack celebration. And you know what that is? That's basically. I feel like what that says is, no matter how many people you put on me, I'm going to get to your quarterback, and I'm going to make him pay.
Okay,
like that's what it is.
Quick prediction. He has what, 14 now? 14 sacks?
Yes.
Do you think he will get to? I know it's kind of high, but I'm going to say it anyways because it's Nick Bosa. You think he'll get to 20?
We have 3 games. He could.
Dude, if he didn't get held so much and then get some of his sacks taken away, he could break the record. But with the amount of holding that people get away with on him, and he never gets a call, and then he had 2 sacks taken away from him in this past game, so he should be at 16. And you think 4 games left to get 6 sacks to break the record?
Yeah, it could work
or whatever.
No, the record's 22, isn't it?
22 and a half. So
22 and a half. Wasn't that Michael Strahan?
Michael Strahan. And Michael Strahan and his last sack was given to him by Brett Favre. That wasn't even
Favre
let him have that shit. Brett Favre's got class. Brett Favre's got class, and he's like, okay, Michael, I got you.
That was like him doing him a solid. Look, man, I'm gonna let you go ahead and just take this one, bro. Don't even worry about it. So, like, when you flip to the other side of the ball, yes, we dodged a bullet. Hung Fat's correct with Aziz and his injury. But when you look at it, man, Aziz had 11 tackles, a sack, and 3 TFLs, and a pass defense. So look at that. Then you go down the line. K1, 7 tackles, 1 sack. You know what I'm saying? And then you go ahead and you look at the rest of the guys. Sampson and Arnie Key shared a sack. Nick Bosa had 2 sacks. You know what I mean? So we have 5 sacks on the day in total. And that's what I thought we would have. I was figuring, I'm like, that line is trash. We got to be able to get to Joe Burrow and eat him alive. So when you look at the other side of the ball with the defense, man, I know they gave up the 23 points.
Every
but they
time we
did what they could. And in the second half, they played stellar. And once again, we gave them nothing in
I want,
return. And
I
that's
want to
not
say
fair to them.
I want to say something though. Is every single time we think we're gonna have a freaking killer pass rush against a really bad offensive line, we always get disappointed. Not to the defensive line's fault, but because the run always run that bitch ass zone defense. Freaking these quarterbacks get the balls out even Joe Burrow get the ball out so fast. All these quarterbacks get the ball out so fast. So like we remember when we thought we were going to eat freaking Aaron Rodgers alive, and he's like, nope, I'm getting the ball out in 1.7 seconds, and good luck.
Well, the thing is, Aaron Rodgers, just look, man. The whole point is stop Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
He'll find other receivers to throw.
They just need to put Shark on him and let Shark do.
Hey, speaking of Shark, can we talk about that nice sack he had?
Oh, that was beautiful, dude.
Right?
Just straight line. He didn't fall.
Straight line. He didn't have nobody. Just boom.
Nope.
Oh, put that up there, man.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, we gotta. That's a moment of silence for that brother, for him and his mother, man.
Prayers up for the Johnson family.
Yeah, that's. I still have my mom, and I can't tell him what to feel. I can't tell him what to go through. I lost my dad, but yeah, I mean, when you get a call and that happens, man. Hey, look, as much as we may rag on Dante Johnson, this is all from a football standpoint. We're still human beings, man, and we have hearts. We would never tell somebody something negative in a time like that. So for everybody out there, man, pray for that man. Pray for his family. That's a hard thing to lose your mama. And, you want him to take his time with it. Even if he doesn't come back this season, I'm not going to fault that young man. When I lost my pop, I'll tell you, I'll keep it a buck. When I lost my pops on me, I went to a real dark place, and it took me a cool minute to get up out of there, man. Some people don't understand it because they're very fortunate they have both of their parents. But when you lose your parent, man, and you had the great relationship with them, some people do, some people don't. It puts you in a bad headspace, and sometimes you just can't function. Some people, they try to do what they do. I try to go to work, because I figured that's what my dad would want me to do. He would tell me, I know I ain't here, but that don't mean you stop. You got a mouth to feed. Get your ass up, go to work. Don't be crying over me, but shout out to Dante and his family, man. I hope nothing but peace and blessings over y'all, and hope you guys get through this.
If he decides to play, he needs to come back and freaking have the best game of his career.
Yeah,
if he does, he needs the Brett Favre that shit.
Yeah, because Brett Favre played after his dad died, man, and he
fucking had one of the best games ever.
And he said himself on TV, man, he said my dad wouldn't want me sitting at home not playing. He would have told me get my ass up and go do it, And it's that's a hard thing for a dude, man, because
I'm hoping for Dante to come back and play and then have the best game of his career.
Yeah, I hope he does, man. If he's able to come back, I really do hope that he's able to come back and ball out, and be able to dedicate that time to his pops. We joke about him, knowing where the bones are buried and everything, because he always seems to come back to the squad. But, from a human standpoint, man, blessings and prayers to that man and his family. We hope that nothing but good things come to them. And hopefully if their family is out there and, they watch this, hey, man, y'all lean on each other because you all you got. Take your time out. Remember those people who love you.
Yeah. Also, too, we lost a great NFL wide receiver. I just wanted to
Demaryius Thomas.
SO to DT, man. That was a shocker for sure. Even though this is a Niner podcast, man, this guy was phenomenal in his prime.
Oh, dude. He
made Peyton Manning look good because Peyton Manning was looking real bad.
Hey, he's an honorary yak bro to do for reals.
Yeah.
Honorary yak bro right there, man. Oh my God, what he could do with the ball after he caught it, man.
Yeah, he was a monster receiver, man, and
I really liked him.
Yeah, that's a hard moment for him, brothers.
I think they said some health issue that he was dealing with.
Yeah, I heard it was a health issue.
I don't think he had any addiction issues or anything like that.
Nah,
I think it
No.
was some
there was
like
nothing ever
legitimate
really
health
put
issue.
out like that.
'Cause
Not about him.
Didn't he retire early because of it?
He probably. I don't know. I'm not very familiar with him because he played for the Broncos and I didn't follow them
Yeah.
that much. But I just know that 33 years old.
So young, man.
Like you got a whole life ahead of you. I'm trying to get to 100. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Trying to get to 100. I want to be
Yeah. I'm
100.
trying to
I
get to
want to be
105.
and and I want to be fully functional. I want to be
I
able
need
to
to live to
walk.
I need to live to 100 so I can hopefully see one Niners Super Bowl.
I know. Seriously. Dude, you're
Don't
not
worry,
lying
man.
about that
We'll
one,
get
dude.
one. We'll get
Dude,
one before then, bro.
they won the year I was
we all
born,
try
and
to.
or maybe it was 95. Well, it was the 94 seasons, and
It
I
was
was
a
born in
94
94.
season.
So
94, yeah.
they won the season I was born. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the last
I know.
time.
And you know the craziest thing is a lot of people haven't been able to see them win one. I'm fortunate. The year in '81 when they won their first one, I wasn't even born. I was still in my mom's stomach. So I didn't get to see that one, but I got to see the other four because, I was alive at that time. So it's definitely, I tell you, I was never anywhere near the Bay when any of these Super Bowls were won. But when you are able to see how people react when teams win a Super Bowl, bro, it just gives you a different feeling about your squad. I know people in Tampa Bay was like, you can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me shit. Tom Brady came here, made this Tampa Bay, and he brought us a ring, and we happy. We love him, and I'm pretty sure like he's still the craziest thing is he probably still got pulled out there in New England. He could go back to New England today. They love him to death. You know why? They gave you 6 damn Super Bowls, and I made sure you went to the playoffs every damn year. So you can't say much of nothing about me because I did what I was supposed to do. But defense played as well as they could. They did what they were supposed to do. The second half, they held it down as best they could. I know they gave up those 2 TDs, but there were 7. Like I said, there's 5 possessions, and we didn't give them anything. So we should have been able to give them something when it came down to it, because a lot of people will say, you know, oh, the first Super Bowl. Okay, yeah, it happens, man. Yeah, like when you see it as a kid, it's a crazy feeling, and then when
Yep.
you're able to experience it more, I was
I've
on.
seen every single one of my other teams win except for the Niners.
Same.
Yeah, and
It's
I
hurt.
watched the Braves win in '95. I watched them win just this year. I watched the Dodgers win in the '80s. And they were doing their thing. It just was. I think when it comes to the franchises and what they do and how they win, you appreciate it, because the number one thing is to be a contender consistently, and that's all you want. Eddie De Bartolo.
That's not our
Yeah,
organization.
but Eddie D would tell them, look, man, I'm gonna treat y'all like number one superstars, but in
Eddie
return for that, I expect you to go
Eddie
out
D
there
knew what he was
and
doing
win.
though. You
Yeah,
we gave a kid the freaking keys to the team, and that's why. It's because of what happened with Eddie, and then his sister gave her son, who was super young when he inherited the team, and it's just bitten us in the ass ever since.
Yeah.
Because Jed's only in his 40s now, and he's had the team for
yeah,
a
he's
long
young. Yeah, he real young, man.
for a long
You know,
time.
but
Yeah.
we got time, man. We'll figure it out,
Yeah.
and it our next game up against the Falcons is going to be a real crazy task. Um,
Hmm.
we got to beat them. We got to make sure that Kyle doesn't do anything to tip off the plays. And, we got to hope and pray to God that, Matt Ryan ain't in Kyle's head calling plays for him, because he'll know exactly what they're doing and where they're going. But
Yeah.
if anything, man, what this game showed me is that George Kittle is back. Jawan
Yep.
Jennings is coming on as a viable threat,
Hmm.
and you need to
He might.
be careful with Ayuk, because he can do things.
It,
Hopefully, Elijah Mitchell is back for this game too, so we don't
I
have
think
to
he will
put
I
be.
want
Debo
to I want
back.
to be fair for one at one point for Jimmy in the second half. We should have had the touchdown instead of the field goal, which we would have won the game if it was a touchdown and not
Mm-hmm.
a field goal.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And he threw one of two his best passes of the game that Ayuk just couldn't get his other foot down. because that was a beautifully thrown ball.
Yeah, and
He
that
made a fantastic catch, but
and you can't even fault Ayuk for getting his foot down because the DB was right up under him.
Yeah.
So he couldn't even
And
try
that's what
to
I'm saying.
drag
So,
that
like,
foot. So
if we want to be fair to Jimmy, he did make, besides the pass
he made a
Kittle
couple
that
of
was
good
pass
throws.
interference, it didn't
Yeah.
get caught. It's like it sucked that
One-
Jimmy's two best passes of the game were both incomplete.
You do have to say that deep ball he threw to Benjamin. They're
Dude,
saying that was on Benjamin, but
that was not on
in
Benjamin.
reality it was
That's
on
a
Jimmy.
touchdown. That is
Yeah.
That's on Jimmy. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Benjamin had 4 or 5 steps. He had 4 or 5 steps.
Let me tell you, I'll give you a prime example. It happened just tonight. Matthew Stafford, he threw to Van Jefferson, hit him right in stride. Van Jefferson didn't have to slow down. All he had to do was find the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And when the ball was coming, it hit him in stride, and that's what you do.
And the Rams
so with
about
that
to
pass
win
to
too.
Travis Benjamin, when I saw him in the game, I said, I think they're gonna take a shot deep, and I don't trust none of this. And one of the guys was like, man, I'm gonna make you a Jimmy believer. You gotta believe. And I'm like, I'll wait. And sure enough, what happened? The pass was broken up because Jimmy didn't hit him. When you're running those types of streaks, you got to hit that player in stride. He had to turn around, locate the ball, and actually stop and wait for it to get there because Jimmy put too much air up under it. I know he was about to get hit, but the thing is if you're going to do that, man, you're going to have to zip that bitch in there. You can't put a lot of air under it because when you do that, what do? You give the DB time to make up the space that he gave.
Didn't even. But it's not even that. It's he didn't have enough arm strength to actually.
No, to actually get the ball down there.
If he gets if he throws the ball if he just throws the ball down to the end zone, Benjamin runs underneath it and it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
And he can't do it. I mean, it's which is beyond me because he overthrew that overthrow in the Super Bowl. You can't even make that throw now, and yet you overthrow that throw on the Super Bowl. But every time you try to make that throw now, it's underthrown. I don't get it.
Yeah. I just so the Niners Twitter just posted this up. I just kind of want to show it after the game in the locker room.
Thank fucking God for that, guys.
Yeah.
Even that ball? He brought it in.
You give it to BA?
Hey, I'm still having
Bro, finally a smile.
Dude, there's pain in those eyes still. Look at this.
Hey guys, hey, enjoy this flight back. You guys have earned it, man.
I don't care what anybody says.
Enjoy
There's
this
just pure
time
pain in
together.
those eyes.
We needed this game, all right, and we're going like this, okay? Well, let's get back to work because it was not perfect at all. We know that. Hey, we got to get it by any means. All right, let's go. Let's get back to work. Here we go. Niners on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Dude, I swear to God that you could still see the pain in Kyle's eyes. Like he's like, "Fuck, 4 more weeks of this fucking shit." God damn it.
When the game was over and they called the touchdown, you saw, dude, that he got hella excited that game was over.
Yeah. Hey, look, one thing I can say is you can tell that head coaches get stressed out because there's a lot that goes into these games. There's so much. And Kyle, God bless him.
He looks like
he
the
was stressed the
president
fuck
after
out.
4 years stint.
Yep.
He was stressed out in ways you can't imagine, man. He's sitting there like,
dude,
God. Why?
Put okay, here's a funny one. Put Kyle when he first came in Niners coach, and then right now how he looks fucking just distraught, and then compare it to Obama becoming president, and after the 8 years where Obama looks like he's 70 years old.
Bro. It's tiring.
That's what it is, dude. Kyle looks like a president. He looks like a president that's gone through 2 terms.
He like, you know what, man? This damn president shit ain't all it's cracked up to be, man. I'll make the 200 G's a year. This shit, I got a lot of people on my. Give me my Secret Service dude. Let me get the fuck up out of here.
Dude, like you can still see. It's funny because I swear to God, you can still see pain in Kyle's eyes, even though they won. He's like,
yeah.
It's
because like he said, or like Fred Warner said, the game wasn't pretty, but they
got a lot of things to clean up.
And they got shit to clean up, and to prove it next week. So as we start to end the show, Going on to next week's game, what are your expectations that they need to clean up on, and what do you expect from them next week?
Go ahead, Christian.
Oh, I mean, I want to see. I really want to see just a dumbed down offense for Jimmy a little bit more. Like, just let him go play football. Because we keep seeing this 2-minute drive, Jimmy, 2-minute drive, Jimmy. At one point, it's got to click into Kyle. Like,
Mm-hmm.
let's try to get that Jimmy the whole game and see if it works. I want to see that. I guess I'm grasping at straws wanting to see that, but I want to see some more running up the middle and see if it works more. I know we really try to hit the edge, but depending on if Mitchell's back, I really want to see what we can do pounding the rock in the middle more. Um, I feel like it was nice to see us do it in this game against the Bengals, but I want to see more of it because we don't do it a lot. So I'd like to see some more runs in the trenches, and I want to see Debo get more involved in the pass game again, not just the run game.
What's going on for an Iron Media?
And then with the defense, there's nothing else you can see. You just want to see. I just hope that the D line keeps dominating and hiding how bad the DBs are. I mean, this is the first game I think all season we haven't had a defensive pass interference, so that was nice.
Hey, that would be a welcome sight for all of us. Load the truth. Yeah, we would definitely love to see K1 come off the edge because when you have somebody come up free like that, and shout out what's up 49ers media, you have somebody come out free like that, man, it's gonna be a beautiful thing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
For me, my final thoughts. Honestly, hopefully Elijah Mitchell's back. We can run the ball, control the clock.
Yep.
The other thing is, I want us to have a full game where we actually score every single quarter. Do not have it where we score everything in the first half and then leave the second half to the defense and say, go out there and make sure that you stop them because every now and then people are going to get their touches. Everybody's going to get their money. And, you can't stop everyone. People get cooked, they get baked. It is what it is. But hopefully Ambry Thomas has grown from this game. And, they understand they put a tall task in front of them. Next week, I think we got the Falcons. And I am very curious because I don't know who their receivers are. If it ain't Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts, since I know it's just Pitts, let's take a look really quick because I'm.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
I think Thomas is eventually going to be a decent corner, and he's going to end up being my favorite player in the defense because, God, I love how he actually tries to jam those motherfuckers off the line. That's why he got those freaking. That's why he was getting those. Because, dude, you watch him. He's like, they off the line. He's like, fuck you, boom, dude. He was
that's the mark of a press man corner. The only thing I'll say to that is,
I fucking
get your
love
hands
it.
down.
I get his hands down. I fucking love it, dude. That's my favorite way to play corner, and it's a lost art. So, God, I hope that he becomes a good player because, man, it's gonna be fun to watch him.
It's only a lost art because everybody called a penalty for every little thing you do. That's the reason why jamming people off the line is a lost art. I would love to see that because I like my man corners to jam as well.
Oh, me too.
So the guys that we have to be worried about are at wide receiver. If Ridley's on that hiatus, is going to be Russell Gage. Some dude, his last name is Zacchaeus or Zacchaeus, something like that. And some dude with the name Sharp, but that's it. Cordero Patterson and Kyle Pitts are the leading receivers, and Cordero Patterson has 5 touchdowns on the year, 519 yards. And then you got Kyle Pitts, he has 771. So Cordero Patterson is the X factor. So I would say we probably have to learn how to slow him down, and that will help us to be able to win this game. But that's my final thought.
I think Warner can cover Pitts a little bit.
And, you can.
If Aziz is healthy, which I'm hoping he can play in this game, if he's healthy enough, it'll help because if we can let Warner do more in coverage, we can just have Aziz play more of the run. And because the two of them complement each other so well, if Aziz is in there, I feel really good about just having Warner try to be there to shut down Pitts.
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah.
I think that's going to
Yeah.
be a big thing is we need Aziz to be healthy and play in this game. And we can hopefully Warner can be there, can focus on shutting down Pitts because he's fantastic covering tight ends. So
Yeah. We'll definitely have to find out for sure. Just real fast. If you haven't already, go follow our social media accounts. Name handles are on the bottom right here. Mine is BDubs49. You got Deon's Swifty and his podcast. Go subscribe to his channel on YouTube, Niner Gang Podcast. And you got Christian's Lefty 1680. And join our actual podcast channel for our faithful podcast. Twitter is FFPod49. Before we take it out, I want to go ahead and share this video real quick and end on a high note. So let's check it out.
God, what a beautifully designed play. Kyle had that scheme had the whole defense going this way, and Ayuk just said, bye-bye. Oh, that was a beautifully schemed up play right there.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
You know what I love about that play? Is the way it was schemed up. There was no way to get holding or anything like that because it was all going one way and then going the other. You negate holding penalties when you have those kind of plays. It was just fucking perfect.
Right before we get out of here,
yes.
Shout out to Jaquaski Tart for the hit of the game.
Yes.
I forgot who it was. He lowered the boom. I don't remember who it was. Tart came in there and murdered.
That man can hit, dude. He can hit when he wants to.
And the thing was, this was perfectly positioned.
He's a banger when he wants to be.
Tart.
Yeah, definitely for sure. I think that's gonna do it for us tonight, guys. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Once again, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate your guys' feedback, chat. Love you all. Until next time, go Niners.
Go Niners.
Go Niners.
Peace.